And in the photo is not coincident, that's Sonic 2. So that's Little Patak from a long time ago. That was my very first Sega Master System game, back in the 1990s, would you believe. And our friends Psygnosis and Probe have converted Bram Stoker's Dracula not just for the Nintendo systems, but for the Master System as well. So this version is not the same as the Sega CD version, which I know you've seen before. This is a platform romp through the lands of Transylvania. It's not the easiest of games, but it is playable. So, we're going to play on the hard difficulty, we're going to play all the way through. This is indeed made in Europe. Music is by Euro and Tel, who you may know made a lot of games on the Commodore 64 and the Game Boy as well. So let's begin a journey through Transylvania. And this is Jonathan, very funky little character wearing his flares. He's got a hanky knife. He's going to get an extra heart piece straight away, so we've got 5 health. You can fill your health up to 6. We've got question blocks here, totally not a rip-off of something else. We've got breakable walls. We've got secret walls as well, and we've got this guy up here. I'm going to rescue him, because if you rescue him, you will get extra power-ups for the final stage boss in each level. And I'm also just going to show you, look how happy that skeleton is. Isn't he beautiful? I challenge you to find a happier skeleton in the entire video gaming. As we pick up a continue, we don't need the continues. We got plenty of extra lives as well. Get to the checkpoint. Come up here past some spikes which are on a global cycle, so sometimes they will hit me. Get a 1-up for extra measure. And when we get damaged, you will see I get knocked back, so that can sometimes be difficult in later stages. At first, this game is not too bad, but it really does ramp up later on, and it's got a sort of a gotcha design to it, where you need to know what's coming. And when I played this first a month ago, preparing for this, I was swearing like a sailor. As we finish Scene 1 daytime, we're going to go into the nighttime, a journey through Transylvania. Grab some more axes. Did I ask you? Grab some coins. Because we're not just here to defeat evil, we're here to get rich as well. Legacy of Maggie Thatcher lives on well and truly. Haunted or not, kill some zombies, get some money. And this game I was first introduced to a few years ago by my good friend Kokami, because he was running the Game Boy version and got the world record in it. And then, as some of you may know, a couple of years ago the legend himself, J.K. Loser, broke the game on the Game Boy version by finding a way to clip out of bounds. Unfortunately you can't do that on this version, or we wouldn't be here for very long. But it is an interesting speedrun, it's got some good tech to it. Different weapons. Take a knockback there. You can see just how far I got knocked back there. I could die and that wouldn't be a good time. Get a flaming torch. Set Lizzie Borden on fire with her axe. 40 wax for her. Take a knock into the spikes. More heart pieces. And at the end of each level there's going to be a mini-boss in the form of Dracula. So this one is going to be the Shadow Dracula. Here he comes. Up and down, and I've just got to keep dodging him. You might think that 3 minutes 40 on the clock is a lot. It is for the first stage, but believe me, in the later stages you really need the time. We get the double bullets there from helping that guy earlier. Jonathan's a bit scared, he's going to run away. Have a little cry, that's okay. It is Halloween after all. If you're not scared of Halloween, then when can you be scared? And now we're into the Castle Dracula, so I'm going to get more pellets. Activate that switch, which is going to give me a lift later on. Get a clock for extra time. And the platforms in this game move up and down, but they can crush you against the ceiling, which is a little bit rude. Although, to be fair, at least the platforms have jobs, which is nice. And now we've transitioned into nighttime, which means all the enemies and the ghosts can come. We've got the Ghost of Lucasade here, orange and bright. He at least will light your way in the nighttime. Take another hit. You get 6 hit points, they do quickly run out. So I'm going to wait here a moment and chill on the spike cycle. And you can see we've got an area there. You might be wondering, how do we get to that? You might notice above me we've got a different texture of block, and it's that classic trope of hidden breakable blocks. So I'm going to break those at the end of the stage, loop back around. We've got a Wall Master doing a side hustle outside of Legend of Zelda. Don't tell Nintendo. Jump across the flaming pits, kill the bird, because as we all know from earlier, birds are jerks. Drop down, save this guy again. He's just going to run about, have a dance. He's also wearing flares. Apparently the tailors in Transylvania have got a bang-up job going on. And we're going to come back around and finish the stage. And then stage 3, as we go past a hanging man who does not look too pleased, is going to be the end of the easy difficulty. And then from stage 3 it's going to ramp up a little bit. So we're still trapped in Castle Dracula, but now it's for night time. And there is a little bit of lag to this version, so when you play it first it can take a little bit of getting used to. You might also notice I'm not pressing anything. And then there'll be some times when the weapon will be the hanky knife, even though you didn't intend it to be. So that takes a bit of getting used to as well. We've got the classic Sega trope as well of water being damaging as well. Take a trip down here, kill the Wall Master, go back up here. Let's leave that skeleton in peace. After all, skeletons need to have peace some time of year. And then we meet our first spider. There are 7 stages night and day total. They get pretty complicated later on actually. Mazes and alternating paths. Die please, thank you. And then from this stage onwards we're also going to have mini-bosses in the form of Mina, who is the haunted abductee of Dracula. Pretty rude of Dracula to be abducting people, but I know he needs his blood. So this is a little boss section where you've just got to avoid her in different patterns throughout. Duck or jump. And it gets much more complicated later on, so I'll be doing some sneaky pausing to get past that. She's got good hair though, that's good for her. Gotta look your best in Transylvania. And we're going to go down here through another breakable wall. Kill the spider, keep hold of the double bullets because they're going to be important for Dracula. One of the problems with the design, specifically in the Master System version, is the physics are a little bit wonky. So on the boss fights, you end up having to wait it out instead of being able to attack a bit more. Which is again a reason that I'm glad I've got plenty of time here. Try and damage boost through, duck, duck, duck. And here's Dracula in his very buff form. He's been working out. He's going to try and use gravity waves to get to me. So I'm just going to stay on the east side and get a lucky drop. That's random where they come, so sometimes you'll have to jump over. That's the first stage of Dracula defeated, and we're going to be on to the medium difficulty stages now. So we're going to escape from the castle. And the funny thing about this stage is there's a secret shortcut right at the beginning where you can just skip the entire game. Up there. I'm not going to use that though, I'm going to play through the whole thing at least for now. I'll do a little bit of skipping at the end just to make sure we finish on time. Good use of colour in this version, I will say that. Like the Game Boy version does look a little bit lurid in green. You see the hanky weapon coming out on its own there. Down some breakable blocks. Through an invisible wall. And one thing with these question mark blocks, you can also damage them by stomping on them, so you do the butt stomp. That becomes essential later on because some of the placement is really dodgy, and if you miss your invincibility, which we're going to get here for the first time, you can really struggle in some of the later stages. Kill a bird, come over here, grab a switch, and then we can also phase through the bottom of the platform. And I noticed when I first played this all the way through at the start of the month, some of these platforms weren't showing up, so I'm guessing they were pushing the Master System a fair bit when they made this. As we've got a zombie here, and here's the first difficult block to get the power up from. And we get it no problem. Nice bit of diamonds. And for those of you who know about Dracula, do you know why Dracula doesn't have many friends? It's because he always feels bleh, bleh. Kill a ghost. Come up here. Get some rocks. This stage is where it really gets awkward if you've never played through before. We've got pits of acid beneath us, we've got hanging men, ghosts coming out at odd angles. You've really got to know what you're doing, and the time limit looks good right now, 4 minutes 38, but it can really tick down because when you die, you don't get that time back. As we almost get squished. And we've got a really aggressive ghost placement here. Come across here. We're going to block down into a secret cavern to get an extra life, just because we want to get everything we can. And although Dracula traditionally is marked as saying bleh, did you know it was never actually something Bela Lugosi said as Dracula? It only came about because a character in the Steve Allen Show said it. So there's a fun fact for you. Get the one up, avoid the spiders, and come back around. Avoid the acid. What Jonathan was thinking wearing white in Transylvania, killing all sorts of ghosts and demons with blood on them, I do not know. Maybe he's got a good dry cleaner, who knows? Activate this switch, and then avoid getting squished. We're going to have another Mina battle. This one is a little bit faster to react to, so I'm going to do a bit of sneaky pausing. There are going to be 2 of them at once instead of 1. And I think it's on a global cycle, so the order of them overall may be the same, but the starting point is different, so you can easily get tricked with that. And we're about halfway through the game at this point. Welcome Raiders! Doing a bit of Bram Stoker's Dracula here on the Master System. I'm going to drop down and kill the skelly. Platform has spawned, that's a good thing. You want to avoid getting squished on the ceiling here. And Dracula's going to come back this time as a wild beast, like as a snarling boar, which is quite difficult to deal with because he goes pretty fast even though we're only playing at 50 frames a second. Now you might notice this platform is doing nothing and you wouldn't know it from the manual. You have to butt stomp that platform, which is really questionable design, I think. Come down here. So this game was only released on the Master System in Europe, but I will say for the speedrun we play it on 60 frames a second, because it was released in Brazil on the Game Gear, so we sort of decided it was better to play at 60. Nobody has run the hard difficulty yet, so technically this will be a world record, although I hope one of you will come in and beat it. I know we've got some interesting people running Laser Ghost and Kensington, for example, out of this marathon, which is fantastic. You can see we're rapidly running out of time here. We're not so bad in this stage, in the later stages it really does get quite hairy scary. Classic Brazil save, quite correct. Oop, nearly took a hit. When is this guy gonna die? Very strong indeed. There he goes. And Jonathan's been walking about, he's going to do a bit of dancing for now, stretch his legs. Who can blame him? So we've got plenty of lives and continues for the coming battle ahead, and now we're into the Hillingham Estate Mansion. This is where the game says, I'm going to give you less time, and I'm going to punish you more for every mistake. So, we've got the spikes here. If we don't get far enough before the nighttime section, we're going to have more enemies spawning as well. And you've got a question mark block there with a suboptimal weapon, but I don't actually have any rocks, so I'm going to take it. You can see one of those blunderbuss guys there, who I managed to avoid. Game wants you to drop down here, but there's a spider underneath, so I don't want to do that. kill this spider, we will kill this bird, and then we've now also got wolves haunting us. Luckily enough, we can still jump in here. You only get one chance. Here's our friend again to rescue. And now we can be invincible for a while. I think it's supposed to be a werewolf, yeah. I mean, it's decent sprite design, it's just like... I suppose with all these old games you have to imagine somewhat. But this version is not based on the movie so much, it's based more on the book, I think. Because like, there's one version which is the platformer, and then there's the other version which is the beat-em-up. So this is the platformer version which is on the Game Boy and NES as well, not like the 16-bit versions. And you could see I clearly hit that wolf, but he wasn't playing ball. Avoid going down the pit. Kill Lizzie. And of course, it's not just zombies and werewolves, it's spooky, scary 16-bit skeletons sending shivers down your Sega spine. Grab a free 1-up. If I've got 7 1-ups, does that mean I also have a can of 7-up? Other soft drinks are available. Now we're invincible, so we can cross the pit of spikes without fear. We've got a nice stair rail and a fireplace here, so at least we're warm inside. And then we're going to go round the back here. Kill an invisible ghost. Go through a secret passageway and fail completely and try again. So sometimes you'll think you've pressed the button, but it'll lag sometimes in this version, which is frustrating, but one of those things. We all know the Master System was not the strongest of consoles. It's okay. Jump, Jonathan. Grab the coin. Well, I don't know, I couldn't comment about people with non-Sega spines. I mean, if you don't have a Sega spine, what have you done with your life? You know. Go down here. And sometimes these platforms won't spawn and you end up playing for the first time getting trapped in the water. You can definitely lose a bunch of lives in a quick hurry. Like, that's a single bullet, so I shouldn't have taken it, but that's okay. On to the next sub-boss fight. This one's pretty quick. She's going to move diagonally this time. She's clearly been watching my Marble Madness playthrough and wants to copy it. Mind you, Dracula must be very rich to have all these candles around the place. Get some clocks. Go up the top and kill a load of spiders. Jonathan's going to look up and see if he can see what's coming. Flick another switch. Come down at the right time for that guy. So what are you guys all doing for Halloween? Are you dressing up? Have you got any plans? Or are you all just going to play some Sega instead? Oh! There you see Jonathan getting squished to pieces. I hope he's got his paracetamol with him. Spiders have come back, we'll get some double bullets. Should be okay. Dress up as a sexy Master System. You could dress up as one of the tech toy Master Systems, I suppose. I mean, they've got the girl version and the boy version. So I am rapidly running out of time here. This is going to be interesting because I don't have too many bullets either to kill the Dracula boss with. We might be taking a death or two here. Spider can jump, apparently. We've also got an impossible jump here. You can't make that one, it just damages you no matter what you do. I'm gonna have to go for this. Nice, Arnold, that sounds lovely. Missed the power-ups, which means I've only got 2 health. Missed those ones as well, of course. Oh dear. Yeah, that's a death, that's okay. This is why I stock up on lives. This can go wrong in a heartbeat, this can. That's a good shot. There we go. Quackshot never got a sequel. That is pretty sad, I must say. Yeah, that's a really good game. Mind you, of course, 90s, obviously everything was single franchises and platformers and new characters, so there's probably a lot of characters we can say that about. We've got a really awkward jump here and try and get in. And then again, we've got some weird block placement here where if you're not careful, you'll miss your invincibility. Thankfully, we were able to get it. Quackshot 2 would be amazing. I mean, anyone who knows me, you know I stand Donald Duck because I run the Lucky Dime Caper as well. Donald is the best. Let's get another one up into a pit of spikes. We've got a really annoying mechanic here where this platform will lower on itself. So you've got to kind of buffer your jump up. And we've got another wolf to deal with up here. Random ghosty. And we're through. So 5-2 is where it gets to the point where you basically have to speedrun the game, because you're not only against a strict time limit, but there's lots of areas where you can just get gotcha'd very badly. And because these cycles are global, you end up just trusting that you've got to get through, like, you can't wait it out too long. Lots of tricks and traps with falling platforms and moving platforms. I think I'm low on health, that's not so good. Do that ground pound again, get up here. Wait for these guys to fire and move along. And take a death. I know I said every good skeleton deserves hugs, I didn't mean it literally, although I will say to you all out there, hug your skeletons, you never know how long they'll be there for. And if you want to think of something scary, it's less than 2 months till Christmas. Ah! Okay. No hugs this time, Mr. Skeleton, you've had your fill. Okay, so I've got to get a checkpoint here, and then we've got the worst of the ghost fights. I couldn't believe anyone could do this the first time I played this. Like, you can pause and know what you're doing and still get massively hit, so... So fast. And it's completely random by this point. At least once you get the checkpoint, you don't have to do it again. So I've just escaped with my life there, luckily. Let's take a death and re-get my health. That's so silly. When you end up trying to get that heart and you miss it because it's floating away and there's like nothing you can do about it. Get the double bullets, get the coin, come over here. You end up having trouble in this sort of area where like you don't know which of your weapons is going to fire, so you're trying to go and get your power up. You try and take a hit. Break these breakable blocks. 4 health and short on time. I think I'll skip the health. I don't know what that section on the left's about there. It's almost like it's just saying, squish yourself, please. Oh, I'll go for it. There's some health downstairs there, but I'd rather just plough on. So you can imagine if Dracula was remade for the modern world, I'm pretty sure he'd still be drinking blood, but it'd probably be as a syrup in his coffee, like in a coffee house. I want the macchiato. You probably want a better Dracula impression, you're not getting one. So we are on to the next form of Dracula, which is his bat form. I'm going to just try and spam him with the bullets as quickly as we can and avoid the bats. There's a timing to this, it can be quite awkward. As proven by dying there. Today is a good day to die, to be fair. We've only got a couple of stages left. Hope you've enjoyed these playthroughs over a couple of games, Marble Madness and Kensington. As I say, we'd love to get more people speedrunning those or playing them casually for these events. It's lovely to come together with you all and enjoy these things. Only got 1 minute 40 left, but we should be okay. Having said that, if Dracula is vulnerable to rocks, maybe he's got some sort of dietary deficiency? Maybe he needs to go and see a doctor? Either that or these are exceptionally hard rocks. Am I running low on health again? I think I am. There we go. Only one more form of Dracula. Okay, so on to scene 6, back into Transylvania. No Transylvanian families anywhere. And this time we've got giant teeth-shaped spike corridors. Almost falling into a bit of spikes there. Well done, Patak. Oh, bother. Wait it out. Run, Jonathan! And then we've got a little green ghost here. Rescue the guy again. And we've got a zombie trapped in the spikes. How interesting. Kill myself by accident. That's okay. Got more enemies to deal with now and I don't know where they're going to come from. Making this slightly more interesting. Can you die, please? I'd like you to die. Thank you. Ah! The zombie wants his 15 minutes of fame on SegaCrew. Can we blame him? Let's get the next ghost, kill the checkpoint. I will say they programmed these sprites very well, like those spikes there, where you can actually stand right next to them. That section there, that's really annoying, because sometimes you will get hit by the, like, spitting face, or from the spikes, and go jumping into that pit, which is really frustrating when it happens to you for the first time. Like a very gotcha game design like it used to be in the 90s, because a lot of games were rentals, or, you know, you wanted to get your money's worth out of them. And I've got a wolf here who I am going to attempt and fail to damage boost through. Yeah, would you die, please? Thank you. Good wolf. That wolf has apparently been watching Doctor Who and is a bad wolf. So, into 6-2, and there's not much left now. So I'm going to speed slightly through this stage, because there's an invulnerability that I'm going to use to bypass the difficult final ghosty boss. Hey Raya. Yeah, this is a pretty cool version of Bram Stoker. It's the same as the Game Boy and NES versions, but it's got a few little quirks to it, so honestly for speedrunning I prefer the Game Boy version, because we all know Stans, who is a demon at NES games, has got the world record in the NES, but also the Game Boy version has more interesting routing. And it's Halloween, so I'm allowed to say Nintendo words. So this woman is moving in triangles at me, which is very impolite. Jump. 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 There we go. And now the game wants you to go all the way around the house's left side, onto the west side, but I'm not going to do that. I am instead going to cheat, because there is a bad design flaw here. The game wants you to activate a switch upstairs that moves this platform, but there's a one-tile brick here, where I can see this pooping bird, and I can avoid getting thrown into the chasm beneath. Except I make the mistake of getting thrown in there anyways. Lol. Blooper reel for the next SegaCrew event. Let's try that again. See the bird, kill the bird, come down here. And the bird can poop, but apparently it can't get through the platforms. So... Oh, that's a nice death. Wow, never had that one before. So whatever the bricks and platforms are made out of in Transylvania, they are apparently very, very strong. Oh, crap. Maybe they are pooping rocks, that's very true. And perhaps now you can see why I've got so many lives. I am slightly in danger of needing to continue, actually. Oh dear. Let's be careful. Got plenty of time. Okay. That is very true. Jonathan apparently has got his bouncy shoes on. I've got plenty of health for this fight at least, so it's a redux of the first Dracula, but there are 3 options instead of 2. It's like an evil game show. Top, middle or bottom. Strike it lucky. Alright. Alright at the back. There we go. Job's a good one. We've still got about 9 minutes for the final stage. We should be okay. So stage 7, I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat again, just to make it slightly quicker. We're going to rescue that guy again, whose name I probably should have learned, but that's okay. And then we're going to take a death warp, come back here, and then we've got a shortcut we can take through the maze, because there's a set of spikes underneath, but if they hit me they're not going to kill me. There's another Lucasade ghost. F for the Lucasade. So the game wants you to go left, I can go down here instead. And even if I get the spikes, it's okay. Activate the switch. Take the long path. And then this is an evil moving platform that's going to try and kill you with the spider. And we're on to the final stage of Castle Dracula. So this one really is a battle against the clock. There's 2 sections. I'm going to be careful in the first one. Get past a ghost fight. And then I'm going to have to do the whole thing in 1 credit, or I'm going to have to start again. Because I'm slightly low on lives, unfortunately. Okay. Switch. Weapon. Ooh, nearly died. Dracula's minions apparently do have guns, yes. This makes no sense, but then again, Jonathan's outfit makes no sense either. Here we go. Another gotcha enemy placement here. Take a hit. That's not good. So, on to the final ghost fight. There's two of them, but the first one moves slower. Up the way. Left, that's not good. Right. I'm just going to have to go for this. So basically, if I die, I'll have to do that section again. But if I don't, then we'll have finished the game. So that's alright. Oh, crap. Get some extra clocks for time. The final boss is really nasty because basically Dracula is going to be able to spawn right in the middle of the screen and we won't be able to do anything about it. This is getting dangerous. Nope, we died. It's a continue, that's okay. Master System Sprite Historical Accuracy, you are quite correct. Alright, let's breeze through this section again. We're still on time, that's alright. Let's just go this way. There we go. And stay tuned because coming up we have got Viper running House of the Dead. And there's lots of other great games going on for the rest of SEGAWEEN as well today. Again, lovely to spend this time hanging out with you all. To the final area. Let's just go down this way. Should be alright. Another wall of spikes. Oop. Accidental death. Of course. Right at the end of the game. It's just a little death. It's still good. It's still good. Oh, crap. So unfortunately I have got less reserve hits than I would have wanted for this final fight. I'll have to be slightly ginger. Hopefully I'll be able to do it in time though. So here's Dracula in his final form. He will move about the screen. If he comes in the centre, there is nothing we can do about it. Like that, we can't move. But we've got the bullets, we're okay. Let's see. Get plenty of hits in here. Hope he doesn't hog the centre. The cowboy. That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. And we're out of bullets. I've got 1 health left, 2 health. I'm gonna have to wait this out. Oh crap. Well, now it's going to be exciting, because I might run out of time. Ooh, that's lucky. We should be okay now. Hurry up and die, Dracula. Don't make me run out of time, Dracula. In before I die with 1 second left on the clock. Oh, come on, Drac, behave. Oh, Lord. Oh, come on. No, we died. Oh, that's terrible. Well, one more round, that's okay. If I don't get it this time, I can cut the game off anyways. Yeah, unfortunately pausing doesn't slow the timer. That is a great idea, though. Oh, come on. Come on, game, you're not going to make me game over on my... Right, here we go. Oh, Dracula, why you do this? Going all out for 1 minute now. Oh, bother. Come on. Come on, Drac. Okay. I think we're okay this time. There we go. Dracula has finally been defeated after putting up quite the fight. Excellent. Just on time finishing as well. So that's Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Master System. Dracula, with his wonderful sideburns, is gone. And he's got nice pyjamas as well. Vampire vanquished. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you again for having me here at the SegaCrew SEGAWEEN. It's been wonderful to hang out with you all. Stay tuned for the next wonderful run. And until I see you next, glory to you and your D-pad.